What's up, everybody? It's good old MF Michael Fletcher alongside Anthony Floyo, Dee Woodson, and Michael Bullock. Welcome to another edition of Cerebral Smack Talk. Guys, we're just going to go right into it. Smackdown Live once again from the WWE Performance Center. And let's kick this baby off. We started off with a 2-for-1 segment. Started off with Daniel Bryan interrupted by King Corbin. And it led to the first fight of the night, which was Daniel Bryan versus Baron Corbin. Daniel Bryan wins the match via disqualification in 15 minutes. And I'm just going to say this was a very good start. This was a very good start to the show. Solid segment to say the very least. Look, the segment was very good. Daniel Bryan putting himself over, putting over the Money in the Bank ladder match. Corbin being the egotistical moron as he is. As far as the fight goes, it was a very good fight. The match was almost going to be. I could even go as far to say it was fight of the night quality. All until the ending of the match when Corbin gets disqualified. The ending was left to be desired, but this was easily a 3.5 stars. It was getting there to a 3.5 star fight. I could say 3.25. You gotta kind of have to semi punish it for the bad ending, but still a good match, still a good battle, and it also puts them over because of the fact of what happened, with these two men being a part of the Money in the Bank ladder match. So it adds a little credence to it. This was a solid fight, and Anthony Florio, I give it to you.
Well, I'll tell you, MF, you're absolutely right. It was a strong promo from Bryan. He really made the match feel like a huge deal, thanks to his ability to equate its significance to his own career. His win in the Money in the Bank ladder match in 2011 sparked a push that very few expected he would get. Exactly the sort of story that helps bolster the gimmick. He was equally as good as he reminded Corbin of one of his greatest professional humiliations. Of course, when Corbin was one of four who cashed in and failed. MF and Bullock, you two know. You two should know. You both were there. You saw that up close and personal. The other three, of course, Cena, Sandow, and Strowman. But we'll address that at a later day. But but that was good stuff right out of the gate as far as the promo goes. The match, well, here's the thing, MF. I mean, what does Daniel Bryan do best? He takes lackluster, second-rate talent and actually, gets a passable match out of them. And that's exactly what he did for King Bleakface here this evening. I'm going to give it 3 to 3.25. I would say it's the second best fight of the night. There's one other match I actually thought was better. And MF said it best. The match was getting good before the abrupt non-finish, but it makes sense to protect both men ahead of Money in the Bank rather than beating them and lessening their credibility. What does not make sense is Cesaro and Nakamura suddenly teaming up with Corbin, with hardly a mention of their relationship with the Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion Sami Zayn, who obviously is on a hiatus because of, well, you know what's going on with that. But what happened to the Artist Collective? And why are Nakamura and Cesaro invested in Corbin? That is a story that deserves some attention from the creative team. Because as it stands, I got to call that lazy and convenient booking. Maybe even safe booking, if I'm going to be honest with you. So, and here's the thing. Here's another thing that they mentioned on the show tonight. They said that both the men's and women's Money in the Bank ladder matches are going to be going on simultaneously at the same time.
Yes. Yes.
Oh
They confirmed it. They confirmed that tonight that the women's and the men's are gonna go down at the exact same time, at the exact same moment. So
it's going to be the craziest Money in the Bank ladder match ever.
You know what? I'm gonna say this. This has to be Hollywood style production.
Oh, it's gonna be
You
cinematic.
you just can't. Yeah, this has to be cinematic. There's no way unless they bring all the cameras in the world. You're gonna need a lot of cameras to
Hmm.
follow the chaos in that fight because you're literally gonna have 12 people at
Yep.
one time
Yes.
brawling
Oh,
all over the WWE Titan Towers.
this is gonna be like this is basically
It's
this is,
gonna be
And
nuts.
it's gonna
It's
be like
gonna
the
be nuts.
it's gonna be like the it's
and
gonna
when
be
you and
it's gonna
when
be
you
like the
and when you
boneyard.
say it's and when you I was just gonna say when you say cinematic, it's just like what we saw at WrestleMania with that Boneyard match with the Undertaker and AJ Styles.
And the Firefly Funhouse.
And the Firefly Funhouse. Don't forget that either between John Cena and Bray
Yeah,
Wyatt. This is going to be absolute insanity. And it's going to be a good style of insanity.
Yes.
This is what we need. We need chaos. We
Yes.
need craziness. We need something like this. This could be, and I'm going to go as far to say it, this could be the greatest money in the bank ladder matches of all time because the unpredictability and the craziness of how this is going to play out. Because you could have alliances, you could have people maybe working together along the way, and there could be some interaction with some of the men and some of the women during that fight. You could see
A
maybe
raw a raw guy and a SmackDown guy.
maybe or
And vice
maybe
versa.
well vice versa, something like that. Or you could see maybe there could be a moment where a guy might give an assist to a girl to help out on one move where, well, what the hell, maybe Daniel, or I don't know, maybe there's a moment where one of the girls kind of, maybe it's one of those, an assist for a guy helps one of the, like a face guy gives an assist to a face girl to help out for a moment, in a moment where it's kind of like whoa, I didn't know you were there, but thanks type moment. You don't know. There's gonna be some chaos. That's all you're gonna get.
Absolutely. So just wanted to address that quickly. So but 3-3, it's 3 to 3.25 stars for the match, even though we could really call this a no rating because of the abrupt finish there. So
No, you can't really because Daniel Bryan was declared the winner. So
that is true.
it's not it. No, that's automatic. That's automatic. No, you
Okay,
can't
so
do
we
that,
had an
Florio.
outcome. Yeah, we had an outcome.
Yes.
Yes. So and and if we were doing commentary, if me, you, and Bullock were doing commentary, I know for a fact Bullock would have gone into Byron Saxton mode and said Corbin got himself intentionally disqualified because he knew he couldn't beat Daniel Bryan on his best day.
wait a minute. That's something Jr. would say because remember, it was that time at SummerSlam when Stone Cold got himself disqualified from Kurt Angle. He
Oh, yeah, I'll
literally
never
screamed
forget.
at Paul Heyman saying he can't beat Stone Cold can't beat Kurt Angle.
Yeah, I'll never forget that. That was
What?
awesome.
True.
One
True.
of the,
Yep.
one of the many incredible moments of JR's legendary career. But anyways, 3 to 3.25 stars for the match, and the promo segment was fine. I mean, Bryan with a great promo, talking about his Money in the Bank success and lack of success for Corbin, the failure. So good way to start. Good way to start it off. So nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, come on in. Let's get your thoughts on the opening segment as well as the match.
And of course, fresh off of our SmackDown chat that we had tonight. So
Of course.
yeah. So the segment, I agree. I mean, I thought it was fine for what it was. I mean, Daniel Bryan talking about his success, of course, with him winning Money in the Bank and hyping this new look to Money in the Bank ladder match with it being a corporate one. And yeah, and then as far as the match goes, I do agree. It's a 3-star match. I could have given it 3.5, but the DQ did take something away from it. But all in all, it was a really good match. I enjoyed it. Florio enjoyed it. And I'm sure you guys definitely enjoyed it. So nothing more to say. Dee Woodson, I give it to you.
Yeah, it was a good promo to start with, and the match. It was a little flat, but it was still good. Competition was good. But due to the DQ, yeah, I'm only going to give it 3 stars. Daniel did a good job, making Corbin look good. So, but it just ran a little long for me. I mean, I can only take so much of Corbin, and this was a little bit too much Corbin. So, yeah. As for the crazy ladder match, I hope it's not anything like the Firefly Funhouse match, because that one I could not even comprehend. I still haven't figured that one out yet. So you can make it as much like the Boneyard as you want. Just don't go Firefly Funhouse, because I don't understand that one. I still can't figure it out.
Don't worry, Dee. You'll be fine. We trust me. Myself, Florio, and Michael Bullock will help you through that. But no, I think it'll definitely be something wicked special.
They had to be high on drugs or something when they wrote that Firefly Funhouse. That looks like something you see out of the '60s in one of those like the Monkey's Head movie or something, where they're totally out there on drugs and they're just writing anything they wanted. I guess I don't know. It's just really a bizarre match.
Okay. In the immoral words of Booker T, tell me you did not just say that.
She did, and then some. Oh my God.
Hey, I am the oldest one here. I'll admit that.
Gosh. Yeah. Where's my towel when I need it so I can do what Flex does? Oh my God.
You don't need the towel, guys. Oh man. All right. I don't know how to follow that. Jeez, you left me speechless there for a second there, Woodson. My goodness. All right. Yeah, no, that's okay. It's all good, sweetheart. Next up we had was the Universal Champion Braun Strowman cutting a promo, interrupted by the Firefly Funhouse, Bray Wyatt, and they were going to do a little bit of a story time. Well, the story time didn't really go too much, but Anthony Florio, it adds another level of drama in what already is turning out to be a pretty good rivalry between Bray Wyatt versus Braun Strowman, and we all know it's going to culminate at Money in the Bank. The Universal title will be on the line.
This has low-key been an awesome bit of storytelling. There is history between Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman, which the former has drawn on to tell their story. A scorned shepherd, he now looks to avenge a member of his flock leaving him, and to do so, he must take back the Universal Championship. It is simple, effective, and most importantly, makes sense. Now, if only it felt like Strowman had a chance in hell of retaining come Money in the Bank, because I read a rumor saying that there's a rumor going around saying that they're considering putting the title back on Bray Wyatt,
which I don't think would be a bad decision, because as many of us knows, the only reason why Bill Goldberg won the belt in the first place was he used the politics card. So it would be fitting if Bray Wyatt is indeed once again the Universal Champion.
And if that's the case, I've also heard that they want to put the title on Bray Wyatt and then eventually down the road feed him to Roman and strap Roman again. So,
yes, I heard that too, Florio, but now I'm hearing some very concerning news about Roman and WWE.
Yeah, I heard that too.
So yeah.
But anyways, a great segment. I could probably go as far as to say maybe the segment of the night by default. So really nothing more to say here. Michael Bullock, your thoughts?
Yeah, it does tell an interesting story. I mean, especially with the history of Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt. So this is like Bray Wyatt trying to play the mind games that he's always done. But this is like Braun Strowman basically saying, you know what? I'm not falling for your mind games because I certainly know you, Bray Wyatt. So yeah, I mean, part of me, does think that Bray Wyatt is going to regain the Universal title, but another part of me is thinking that, look, Braun Strowman just won the title at WrestleMania. Do you really want to have him lose it in his first title defense? I mean, those are just some of the things that are going through my mind, but we just got to wait and see how it all plays out. Especially come next week when Strowman and Wyatt come face to face. So yeah, so there's really nothing more that needs to be added there. So Dee Woodson, I give it to you.
Yeah, this was a good segment, good storyline. They definitely told a real good story. And I think a lot of us was thinking it was going to go that angle when they first mentioned that it was going to be Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman, because Braun is the black sheep that was wearing the black sheep mask during all that Bray Wyatt family stuff. So yeah, great. It was a great promo. Very well done. Don't have anything negative to say about it. It could definitely fall under the segment of the night. So yeah, not much more I'm gonna say. It's yours, Fletch.
All right, guys, and more importantly, right now we move right along to the show, as the next thing that we had was Sheamus going up against Leon Ruff. Sheamus wins the match in 1 minute and 42 seconds. That's an automatic throwaway, so don't have anything to worry about that. Then, well, it got serious, guys. The final Money in the Bank ladder match to determine who goes to Money in the Bank on the women's side, as it was Mandy Rose going one-on-one with Carmella. The winner of the bout, in 4 minutes and 3 seconds, Carmella goes to Money in the Bank, and lo and behold, Sonya Deville had a little finger on this one, interfering, helping Carmella, basically taking advantage of the distraction by Sonya and winning the match to get into Money in the Bank. And then after the match, the Hellcat broke loose. Sonya Deville lights up Mandy Rose and beats her down. Big time beat down, throwing her into the ring steps and everything. Holy freaking crap. This Fire and Desire just went full on catatonic meltdown tonight. And Michael Bullock, it got real.
Oh, it definitely got real. And I don't know about you, Fletch. I mean, you saw the way Sonya Deville, the way she was when she
went crazed.
Who did she remind you of?
Oh, dude, I don't know. You could talk about Victoria from
Victoria.
Oh exactly. Yeah, she went psycho woman tonight.
Yeah, and I felt bad for Charles Robinson. I mean, she was trying to restrain her, and she almost wanted to knock the living daylights out of Charlie Robb. And you know how much me and Florio like Charlie Robb, and we would have been like, "Oh, Sonya, you didn't just do what you think you did." But anywho, I mean, I'm gonna give this about 1.5. And the thing is, I knew this was gonna happen. Was gonna screw her. I knew it the moment the match was made, and so it was no surprise that she did what she did. And yeah, she literally lambasted Mandy Rose. And Florio and I talked about it. We said that she looked like Victoria, like she was a woman possessed. I mean, oh my god! And when she's in that kind of mode, because ooh, I probably wouldn't like the what would happen to me if I got on the bad side of her. Whew. But anywho, I mean, 1.5. Like I said, the outcome certainly didn't surprise me one bit. So, Dee Woodson, all I can say is, you better not get in Sonya Deville's way after what she offered tonight. Whew.
I don't even know where to start on this.
I mean, I smell a rant coming.
Well, this was too predictable. Who in the world would not have thought that Sonya Deville was going to get involved? I mean, was already this. I don't even know how you want to phrase it, as a love triangle or rectangle or whatever, but I mean, yeah, I'm giving it 1 star. It was bad. The angle, was all right, I guess, because all it's basically doing is building up for Mandy versus Sonya. But I think all of us probably knew that Sonya Deville was going to come out there and cost Mandy the match, whether it was physically getting involved or what we got tonight, which was her just verbally bantering until she distracted Mandy enough for Carmella to pin. And I mean, it's about as annoying as having Leo Rush standing outside on the mic while Lashley's doing his wrestling. It was that annoying to me. And you all know I hated that. So yeah, this I was not entirely happy with this match. To me, this is definitely the worst match of the night. Didn't even, give Mandy a chance. We all already know Carmella's all up Corey Graves' butt. She's dating Corey Graves, so that naturally she's going to get whatever she wants. So yeah, I mean, the guy who admitted that he had some. We already have a storyline built for Mandy Rose with Sonya Deville. So yeah, we're sarcastic that you've told us this match basically it was. It was already set bad before it even started. So yeah, the winner was already determined long before the match even happened. So yeah, 1 star. I'm done. Take it, Fletch.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the 1 to 1.5. I totally agree with it because the match was so short. The thing is, I'm not too angry about Carmella getting in the Money in the Bank. I think it's a logical sense because it actually served its purpose. It killed 2 birds with 1 stone. Basically, we're gonna get Mandy versus Sonya at Money in the Bank. it's been confirmed, as you kind of heard, more or less. Mandy Rose versus Sonya Deville is going to happen at Money in the Bank. And then you get Carmella. She is the final woman on the SmackDown side. The SmackDown Money in the Bank is complete on the SmackDown end. So, with Lacey Evans, we're going to also have Carmella. And they are going up and they got to deal with a formidable 3 on Raw. When you got Nia Jax, you got Asuka, and you got
Shayna
Baszler. So SmackDown definitely's got their work cut out. There's no doubt about it. But it's fitting that it's Carmella because she is the first Money in the Bank winner. She already won this. She could win it again, even though I think it's definitely wishful thinking. But the one with the most experience, the one that I think a lot of people think that could possibly win it on the SmackDown end, you could even say the ultimate underdog is Dana Brooke. Dana is the ultimate underdog because you got Lacey Evans, who's definitely proven, who could easily win it, and you see that she has been getting physical, altercated with Bayley, and again it happened tonight, and we'll get into that in a little bit. So I mean, is it possible that they could give it to the Sassy Southern Belle? Absolutely. Dana is she's happy to be there more than anything else, but would it be absolutely phenomenal? What a story would it be if Dana Brooke wins Money in the Bank and captures it? The most unlikeliest of Money in the Bank winners would be Dana Brooke. If she wins it, hold me back. That's all I'm saying. Hold me back is all I'm going to say because I probably go through the roof. And of course, obviously, if it's Carmella, second time the charm, she would definitely be in line for another shot. On Raw end, if it's Nia Jax, what a story that would be for her. You know, back from injury, instantly back in the title picture, and she goes right after Becky Lynch for the title. Or Asuka, and we already know how great Asuka versus Lynch was. Or do they give it to Shayna Baszler, which in many people's eyes is the most obvious and logical choice. If Shayna wins it, well, now you get another shot. Maybe this is the time where Shayna gets the title, because with everything going on, unfortunately, Becky has not been fighting lately. That would make her prone. We'll have to wait and see. So, there's a lot of scenarios here. But, 2 birds with 1 stone hit tonight. Carmella goes to Money in the Bank. That was a logical choice. Plus, storyline progression with Sonya versus Mandy. I think it's Bravo SmackDown Live. You guys did pretty well tonight. Even though the fight was predictable, but it served its purpose. Anthony, it's yours.
Yeah, it's a 1-star match. The goal might be to make a star out of Mandy Rose, but thus far, MF, you nailed it. Sonya Deville has been fantastic. She has cut some excellent promos, and here showed the intensity and fury one would expect from a woman who has had her friendship dissolve before her very eyes and is sick of being overshadowed by Mandy Rose. The beatdown was exactly what it needed to be and put a ton of heat on the rivalry between good friends but better enemies. As for the match itself, it was rather nondescript, incredibly basic, as most of the spotlight was on Sonya Deville crushing it on the mic. Now, MF, you mentioned Victoria, and yes, that's exactly where I was going with that. Sonya Deville reminds me of a younger Victoria, a la 2002. Now I'm gonna go back. We're gonna take a trip back in the Wayback Machine here, and we don't need Sherman and Peabody for this.
Oh no.
MF and I are gonna take you. We're gonna go back in time here, back when MF and I used to do the Raw chats back in the day. MF, do I even have to bring up the fantastic program between Victoria and Trish from 2002?
Oh no.
And all the fun we had with that?
Oh yeah.
I mean, back in our stage announce table days, you remember?
Yep.
So Victoria, which culminated in that first ever women's hardcore match at the Survivor Series in Madison Square Garden when Victoria won the women's championship from Trish, and that catapulted her career. So but it reminds me of that. I mean, Sonya Deville, the brunette, like Victoria. I mean, she looks almost exactly like her, almost, nowadays. I mean, and what we saw tonight was almost a carbon copy of what Victoria did to Trish back in 2002 when they were building the hardcore match for the Survivor Series. That's what they were doing. And Mandy Rose, obviously, the second coming of Trish Stratus, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
The pretty blonde that gets all of our hearts going, and the former fitness model, which Trish exactly was. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is Victoria and Trish 2.0. That's what this is.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up leading into another hardcore match down the road. But like I said, 1 star for this. And by the way, MF, Dana Brooke winning the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Yeah, that's wishful thinking there, Padre. Got to be honest with you. I mean, it would be a great story. I mean, I would love to see it. I mean, that would be a wonderful moment if the weak link of the match, Dana Brooke, actually goes on to win. Lacey, I would say, is in the middle. I mean, she's on her way, but I don't know. Carmella obviously is your most experienced. I mean, being the first Miss Money in the Bank and cashing in successfully, winning the women's title from Charlotte. So, and I know where Dee's coming from, obviously, thinking that Graves had his fingerprint on it. Wouldn't surprise me one bit. But let's be realistic. I know our preview show is next week, but after we review SmackDown, of course. But when we preview Money in the Bank, I'm going to give you a little spoiler. Of course, I'm going to go with one of my Raw girls. I mean, but I just don't know which one. Yes, Shayna is the logical choice, obviously, given that I don't think that feud is far. I think that feud's far from over, as far as I'm concerned. Nia Jax would be a great story, obviously. Coming back from double knee surgery,
Mm-hmm.
which kept her out for the better part of a year. I mean, that'd be a great comeback story for the Irresistible Force. And then Asuka, who, of course, has been the hottest thing going in the women's division, aside from Becky Lynch, because of her Japanese gibberish that I've been loving so much. So, but I don't know. I mean, we still have another week to think about it, and we'll figure out who we decide on next week. But for right now, the match was meh. It was a 1-star effort, but Sonya's performance tonight, MF, that was a 5-star performance. Well done. Let's move on.
All right, and then we had ourselves a tag team fight, folks. It was the New Day versus the Forgotten Sons, and when it was all said and done, winners of the bout in 12 minutes and 41 seconds, the Forgotten Sons beats the New Day. In the match, I believe this actually goes to... I think I start off... Do I start off on this, guys?
No, Dee Woodson.
Dee Woodson. Okay, so I wanted to make sure. So, Dee, it's all yours, my dear. The Forgotten Sons with a huge win over the tag team champions.
Very much a huge win, and honestly, I'm glad that Miz and Morrison really didn't get involved either. I mean, they just kind of stayed there at the announce desk, being annoying as hell, but they were at the announce desk. But at least they didn't jump in and get involved. Um, this was solid. And I think the win went to the right team. Give these new guys, a good chance to prove that they.
You know what you look like? And then he said, "You look like Elvis Presley."
Give the new guys a good chance to prove that they deserve to be in this division. That they deserve a chance to go for the tag team. And to build up some heat.
I can't get over it. I can't get over it.
It looks like they're building up for another multi-team match, but if they do, they do. Kind of hope they don't. I'd like to see more one-on-one with these guys. Plus, I'm also looking forward to seeing maybe a 3-on-3 if we ever get Xavier back. That would be great, having Forgotten Sons and New Day at their full potential, with all three of them being there. So, yeah, I'm going to give it 2.5 to 3 stars. Like I said, solid match, very, very well done. So it's yours, Fletch.
Yeah, 2.5 to 3, no doubt about it. I totally agree. This was a solid fight. This was a solid match, and there was really nothing more for us to add. This was look. Say whatever you want to say about the Forgotten Sons. This was a big win for them. You could even go as far to call it a championship committee moment. This was a really good match, solid fight. Everybody did their roles really well, and props to the Forgotten Sons for winning. So yeah, there's really nothing more to add. And Anthony, it's all yours. I agree. 3 to 3.25 stars for me.
Remember that match I was talking about for Fight of the Night? This was it.
This is it.
3.25 to 3.5. That's the correct rating for this match. The New Day can have a great, energetic tag match with just about anyone, but the Forgotten Sons turned in what I feel was one of their best performances as a team here. Steve Cutler and Wesley Blake have grown exponentially as a tag team, and in this match, looked like a duo that could believably beat the tag team champions. Miz and Morrison on commentary, always fun, but they almost stole the spotlight from the winners in what was a definitive match for them. The more that team hangs around, the less likely it is the Forgotten Sons can ever really get over. Unless the plan is to put Miz and Morrison back in the hunt, keep them away from the segments. The Forgotten Sons are involved in, so that they can effectively get over and build a reputation of their own without being overshadowed. Now, MF, you said championship committee moment? Absolutely. How could this not be a championship committee moment? I mean, they pinned the tag team champions, so you know what that means. This is a championship committee moment.
Yes, it is.
And don't be surprised if come next Sunday at Money in the Bank, we see the New Day and the Forgotten Sons for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. And that would be you thought tonight's match was good. That one could be just as good, maybe even better. Who knows? And for the first time, I can honestly say I am fine. I am actually very high on the Forgotten Sons. I mean, I thought they were rather in NXT, but here they are on since they came to SmackDown a few weeks ago. They've been killing it. Well done. MF, you got a diamond in the rough here. So that's a big shot in the arm for your tag team division. Absolutely. So 3.25 to 3.5 stars. Fight of the night. Absolutely. Michael Bullock, we said it on our chat, and MF just reiterated. We just had ourselves a championship committee moment here tonight.
Yes, we did. 3.5 stars. I do agree with the rating. I mean, yeah, the Forgotten Sons have really impressed me since they debuted on Friday Night SmackDown, and yeah, I think they are going to get the opportunity to challenge for the SmackDown Tag Team Champions at Money in the Bank. So yeah, there's really nothing more that needs to be added. So let's move on.
All right, and with that said, we move right along on this show, guys, and it is actually our main event of the evening. It is Otis going one-on-one with Dolph Ziggler, and the winner of this fight will be the 5th member of the Money in the Bank ladder match for the men. Now remember, guys, here's something. If you guys did not watch Ridiculously Raw on Monday night, unfortunately, Monday Night Raw suffered a major casualty, as it was Apollo Crews suffered an injury, a knee injury, during his match, and now it has been declared that, unfortunately, Apollo Crews is out of Money in the Bank. Therefore, this Monday night on Raw, they are going to do a last chance gauntlet match with the men who competed prior to Money in the Bank, and they will get an opportunity to fight for the last spot in the men's Money in the Bank for the Raw side. On SmackDown, they are now filled. It will be Daniel Bryan, Baron Corbin, and Otis joins the group. Otis beats Dolph Ziggler in 11 minutes and 15 seconds and has qualified for Money in the Bank. Solid match. Not as good as WrestleMania. Well, actually, this was actually a little better than WrestleMania. But they played the same formula. It was almost reminiscent of WrestleMania. The only thing was that there was no Mandy Rose, there was no Sonya Deville, there was no interference. Otis won the match clean. The Caterpillar with the elbow drop, 1, 2, 3, and it's over. Otis punches his ticket to Money in the Bank. And my man, I tip my cap to you, my friend. You did really good tonight. And it looked like you were struggling, man. It looked like you were carrying a lot of weight on you, and you were getting winded, and I got a little nervous for you there. But this was a solid main event, a 3-star fight. You could even go as far to say maybe 3rd best fight of the night. But well done. Both guys did very well. They told a decent story. Ziggler pregame, prior to the match, trying to talk to Sonya about how, he compared what Otis and Mandy was having as more of a, it's nice to have, but it's not reality. It's not real. It's not realistic. And what Ziggler wanted to do was get back to where he was. Winning again. Getting into Money in the Bank. Winning the title. And then maybe that's his way of getting to Mandy. Well, the dream has been crushed for Mr. Ziggler, as Otis, the big man, now punches his ticket to Money in the Bank and his chance to climb the corporate ladder, as they say, as they've been emphasizing going into this. But hats off. Good fight. Solid main event. Anthony, it's yours.
Another week, another surprise outcome. I mean, this is the 3rd week in a row that we've seen a match on SmackDown that we thought was going to go one way. It ended up going the other.
Actually, not this time around. I actually had Otis beating Ziggler. I don't know what you guys did, but I had Otis winning.
Well, I'll be honest. I actually had Ziggler winning because I thought they were going to give him his heat back. That's what I thought. But that's why I got to pull the surprise card here. The big surprise 2 weeks ago, Dana Brooke beating Naomi in that Money in the Bank qualifier. And then I remember we had another surprise last week. Slipped my mind as to what that one was. But anyways, match was fine for what it was. But both this and the WrestleMania encounter followed the very simplified formula that MF mentioned. Perhaps it was by design to protect Otis in a singles setting. The outcome is surprising to me, as I felt like this was the opportunity for Ziggler to get his heat back by dashing Otis's dreams of competing in the Money in the Bank ladder match, thus leaving the happy couple of Otis and Mandy out of their respective ladder matches. Instead, Otis rolls into the Money in the Bank ladder match, one of the dark horses to win the whole thing. Will he? No, I don't think he will. I mean, if he wins, that would be the biggest surprise in the 15-year history.
Oh, it'd be the biggest upset. It would be a stunner if Otis wins it all.
Could you imagine Otis winning Money in the Bank and then possibly becoming Universal or WWE champion?
Oh, wow. God. Wow.
And have the girl as well?
Wow.
Full circle.
Yeah.
That would be a full circle moment.
Wow.
I mean, it would be the equivalent of Dana Brooke winning the women's match. I mean, nobody expected it, but I don't know. But I got a feeling one of the big names are going to win it. I mean, the favorite in the men's right now, well, Bryan obviously would be one, but then again, Rey Mysterio with his veteran presence. But then again, there is a dark horse. We have a dark horse of our own on Raw. His name is Aleister Black. And I wouldn't be surprised if Aleister Black ends up winning that thing. I mean, what a shot in the arm that would be for him. I mean, I would love to see him get it, honestly. But, you know, like I said, we have a week to think about it before we, you know, predict on it next week. But for right now, I can only give it 2.5 stars for the match. Like I said, fine for what it was. And we get another surprise outcome. I really thought Ziggler was going to get the heat back, but no. Otis wins again, and he joins Corbin and Bryan representing SmackDown, and Raw has Aleister Black, Rey Mysterio, and whoever comes out of that gauntlet match on Monday night. So, which I hope is a big name. So, even though my heart is still aching for Apollo Crews, I was really rooting for him, but you know, it is what it is. So 2.5 for the effort. So Michael Bullock, we got the outcome that we wanted, even though I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it 3 stars. I mean, I thought it was a good match. I mean, yeah, people were thinking. I mean, you know what? I had a feeling Otis was gonna win it because, I mean, here's the thing. Dolph Ziggler, he's already won Money in the Bank, and he's been in it so many times. Do we really need to see him in Money in the Bank again? Not my honest opinion. So this doesn't surprise me at all. So there's really nothing more to say. Dee Woodson, I give it to you.
Yeah, I agree with the rating. No, Dolph doesn't need to be in another Money in the Bank. But then again, you know, I could go back to the one with Mandy and Carmella and say the same thing about Carmella. I mean, she's already won 2 and had the title. So, yeah, Dolph's done a lot of them. He's won the title several times. Don't need that in there. This was definitely a nice little cherry on top for Otis, you know, to finally put not only Dolph in his place, but also, you know, knock out Dolph's dreams of not only getting the girl in the end, but also getting the title and going to this ladder match and stuff. So, yeah, not much more I'm going to add to it. So, it's yours, Fletch.
Yeah, well, we're just going to go into our final thoughts about the show. Anthony Florio, it was solid. It was okay. Nothing to really write home about, but it did fill the final slots for Money in the Bank. SmackDown lineup is now complete on both sides, men and women. A nice little appetizer for Strowman versus Wyatt and the Forgotten Sons. They're not forgotten anymore. They now are very noticeable in the tag team division, and like you said, we might have a championship committee moment tonight. And all in all, other than just one match that was not bad for Team Blue tonight.
No, not at all. Yeah, I mean, with the exception of the Sheamus squash match, yeah, this show did very well. But there is a moment where I have to be brutally honest here. Friday Night SmackDown is suffering from a lack of star power right now, and it's showing. And it's showing. However, they have done an admirable job at building Money in the Bank in recent weeks. Tonight, no exception. But the recycled combination of opponents and feuds week in and week out with a limited crew has gotten a bit tiring. I mean, it's starting to become, I hate to say it, which has been a staple of Monday Night Raw, a little bit repetitive. But I do continue to be impressed with Daniel Bryan on a weekly basis. But I have grown tired of the lackey formula for King Corbin. The tag division, we for the most part has been a little scatterbrained, 50-50 booking and weak teams all around, with the exception of the newly introduced Forgotten Sons. In the main event scene, Strowman and Wyatt continue to sort of coast through weekly angles and promos that aren't particularly bad, but don't quite cross the threshold into interesting either. But, this show tonight was, a solid show, and it's starting to move in the right direction. I mean, you had 3 solid matches on this show tonight. The women's match was kind of but Sonya Deville, though, was clearly the highlight of that one. And fight of the night, New Day and Forgotten Sons. Bryan and Corbin, that was good up until the finish. And the main event was very good. It was solid with Ziggler and Otis. And, the storyline progression worked fairly well this evening. So a solid effort. A solid effort indeed for SmackDown. I don't know what I would have given it as far as a rating was concerned. If I were to give it a rating, I would say somewhere between 6.5 and 7, if I'm going to be honest. But there is no rating. We won't have ratings until, we get back to normal wishful thinking. So, but that's all I can say. So good show tonight. I'll give you that. And it definitely makes the build to Money in the Bank a lot more interesting. So I'm definitely looking more forward to the event as we get closer to it. So nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, final thought on tonight's show.
Yeah, I thought it was a good show. I mean, I thought everything the squash match with Sheamus, that was left to be desired. But yeah, I mean, it does add some build to Money in the Bank. So I agree with everything you guys had said. So Dee Woodson, I give it to you.
Yeah, this was a fairly good show. I can say, at least for SmackDown's support here, that at least they didn't have as many cutouts as Raw. Yeah, we're getting a little repetitive, the limited talent we have, but they're still able to make it entertaining. They're still able to build the storylines. They're still able to get us prepared for the pay-per-view. So, hats off for SmackDown for what they are able to give us. And, like I said, at least we're not getting like 9 matches in a 3-hour span where more than half of them are no ratings to duds. So good storyline building. So not much more I'm gonna say. Good night, guys.
Good night, Dee, and this is the end of our show, guys. So on Monday night we do it all over again with Ridiculously Raw. Wednesday night will be another edition of Wednesday Night Mayhem. Friday night is a double hitter. We got SmackDown Live, the go home show, and then we will preview Money in the Bank. That's right, it goes down next week from the Performance Center and from Titan Towers in Connecticut. And then from there, we will have a recap on Sunday night at, once the show is over. Myself, Anthony Floyo, Michael Bullock, and Dee Dee Woodson, we will recap Money in the Bank, and we'll give you our thoughts about the show. So, as always, guys, like the video, leave a comment at the bottom, share with all your friends on all the social media platforms. For Dee Dee Woodson, for Michael Bullock, for Anthony Floyo, I am Michael Fletcher. So long, everybody, and we'll see you next week.